வணக்கம். ஆக்மி 2023 இந்தியாவின் முதன்மையான இயந்திர கருவிகள் கண்காட்சி தமிழக ஆளுநர் திரு R.N. ரவி அவர்கள் தொடங்கி வைத்தார். அம்பத்தூர் தொழிற்பேட்டை உற்பத்தியாளர்கள் சங்கம் சார்பில் இந்தியாவின் முதன்மையான இயந்திர கருவிகளின் கண்காட்சியான ஆக்மி 2023 சென்னை வர்த்தக மையத்தில் இன்று தொடங்கியது. இன்று முதல் ஜூன் 19 வரை இக்கண்காட்சி 5 நாட்கள் நடைபெறுகிறது. நாட்டில் தொழில்துறையை நவீனப்படுத்துவதற்கும் முதலீட்டை ஊக்குவிப்பதற்கும் உதவும் நோக்கில் இயந்திர கருவி தொழில்நுட்பத்தில் ஏற்பட்டுள்ள சமீபத்திய முன்னேற்றங்களை காட்சிப்படுத்துவதில் இக்கண்காட்சி கவனம் செலுத்தியுள்ளது. தமிழக ஆளுநர் திரு R.N. ரவி அவர்கள் ஆக்மி 2023 கண்காட்சியினை இன்று தொடங்கி வைத்தார். டைம்லர் இந்தியா கமர்ஷியல் வெஹிக்கிள்ஸ் பிரைவேட் லிமிடெட் நிர்வாக இயக்குனர் மற்றும் தலைமை நிர்வாக அதிகாரி திரு சத்யகம் ஆர்யா மற்றும் ஷங்க் இந்தியா பிரைவேட் லிமிடெட் நிர்வாக இயக்குனர் திரு சதீஷ் சதாசிவன் ஆகியோர் முன்னிலை வகித்தனர். அம்பத்தூர் தொழிற்பேட்டை உற்பத்தியாளர்கள் சங்கத்தின் தலைவர் திரு டி நலங்கிள்ளி அவர்கள் வரவேற்புரையாற்றினார். மேலும் ஆக்மி 2023 தலைவர் திரு கே சாய் சத்யகுமார் அவர்கள் கண்காட்சி பற்றிய சுருக்கமான விளக்க காட்சியை வழங்கி உரையாற்றினார். ஆக்மி 2023 கண்காட்சியினை தலைவர் திரு கே சாய் சத்யகுமார் அவர்கள் பேசுகையில், உலகெங்கிலும் உள்ள சமீபத்திய உற்பத்தி தொழில்நுட்பத்தை பற்றி உள்ளூர் நிறுவனங்கள் அறிந்து கொள்ளவும் தங்களது உற்பத்தி செயல்முறையை மேம்படுத்துவதற்கும் ஆக்மி 2023 கண்காட்சி மிக பெரிய தளத்தை உருவாக்கி தந்துள்ளது. பொறியாளர்கள், மேலாண்மை அலுவலர்கள், மேற்பார்வையாளர்கள் மற்றும் உற்பத்தியில் ஈடுபடும் அனைத்து நிறுவனங்களுக்கும் இக்கண்காட்சி மிகவும் பொருத்தமானது என்று கூறினார். தமிழக ஆளுநர் திரு R.N. ரவி அவர்கள் ஆக்மி 2023 கண்காட்சி மலரை வெளியிட்டு உரையாற்றினார். ஆக்மி 2023 கண்காட்சியின் ஒருங்கிணைப்பாளர் திரு P.S. ரமேஷ் நன்றியுரையாற்றினார். பிறகு ஆளுநர் பல்வேறு கண்காட்சி அரங்குகளுக்கு சென்று பார்வையிட்டு உற்பத்தியாளர்களுடன் உரையாடினார். ஆக்மி 2023 கண்காட்சி 11,000 சதுர மீட்டர் பரப்பளவில் மாநாட்டு மையம், 7 அரங்குகளில் 435 சர்வதேச நிறுவனங்கள், 105 சர்வதேச பிராண்டுகள் இக்கண்காட்சியில் இடம்பெற்றுள்ளன. மேலும் ஐரோப்பா, ஆசியா மற்றும் அமெரிக்காவில் உள்ள பல நாடுகள் பங்கேற்பால் சுமார் 650 கோடி ரூபாய் மதிப்பிலான வர்த்தகம் நடைபெறும் என்று எதிர்பார்க்கப்படுகிறது. ஜூன் 15 முதல் 19ஆம் தேதி வரை நடைபெறும் ஆக்மி 2023 கண்காட்சியினை காலை 10 மணி முதல் மாலை 6:30 மணி வரை வணிக பார்வையாளர்களுக்காக திறந்திருக்கும். டிடி செய்திகளுக்காக கோவை அஃப்ரீன் பீர் முகமது.
Most respected Thiru T. Nalangiri, President Taima, Thiru K. Sai Satyakumar, Chairman ACME 2023, Thiru Satyakam Arya, Managing Director and CEO, Daimler India Commercial Vehicles, Thiru Satish Sadasivan, Managing Director, Shunk India Private Limited, all the members of the IMA family, all those who are associated with ACME 2023, leaders of the industry, distinguished dignitaries, entrepreneurs, friends from the media, I extend my warmest greetings and best wishes to all of you on this auspicious occasion of inauguration of the latest edition of ACME 2023. It gives me immense delight to be in the midst of those who are building the nation. This IMA has been a pioneer in our country in creating this enclave of small industries working together, looking forward. I'm told it's almost nearly 6 decades old. That was the time when our country was largely guided by command economy. It was the government and government alone that chose to steer the course of development and growth. Influenced with socialistic ideas and ideals, the private players were not encouraged, and to some extent they were even looked at with suspicion. In the early 90s, circumstances compelled us to open our economy, liberalize it, and soon I started this international exhibition of machine tools in 1994. So you have been the pioneer all through. And I wish, and I am confident that you will remain pioneer in years ahead. These 5 days of conglomeration of manufacturers of tools, manufacturers of machines, those who will be coming and witnessing it, the students of technology, researchers, would all be meeting, seeing, observing, and exchanging the ideas and the products. And I'm sure each participant would have something to take away from this 5 days grand event. While I'm confident that I now continue marching ahead, all that I need to share with you is to draw your attention and urge you to be in tune with the pulse of the time. The time of today is fundamentally different from the time of yesteryears. As we know, after the British left, a state became the sole promoter of, or the guardian of, growth and development. And that model, though it was liberalized in the 90s, it took time for culture to evolve. About 10 years later, during the time of Prime Minister Vajpayee, divestment began, the public sector to be divested. Because initially it was all public sector. Very few private. And the period of divestment, idea behind is government is not the best suited to do business. They are best suited to govern. They are best suited to create an environment, an ecosystem for business, for manufacturing, for industrialization, not the best player themselves. And so many unproductive public sector undertakings were divested. Some wholly, some others partially. And we have continued the progress. But the fundamental change that happened 9 years back with the coming of the new national leader, Prime Minister Modi. And this is something that we need to understand. That from the model one, there was one extreme where the government was the sole guardian of industrialization and growth. This is 180 degrees turned around. It is the people of this country. They have enormous potential. Given the right atmosphere, right environment, what we call right ecosystem, their genius will flower and the country will grow. For all these years in the past, we were behind in adopting technology. When this Acme series began, in our country, very few people knew what was computer. Computer was known in developed countries, many parts of the world. But for us, it was something new. We kept catching up. New technology comes, and then with a gap of time, we adopt. Now this model of development, this model of growth cannot take this country of nearly 140 crores to the destiny that it deserves. Such a large country with so much of natural and human potential. When our engineers, our technologists, our scientists, they run the most advanced research and industrial complex in the developed countries, we remained at the margin of international affairs. Such a large country, not taken seriously. Largely because we remained a follower. We remained catching up. Our growth was incremental. Our growth was in segments. The problems that confronted this country, be it poverty, be it education, be it healthcare, be it access to drinking water, be it access to electricity, basic ingredients of a healthy citizenship, we kept addressing it in segments. Every 5 years, we had a plan, we used to have. We have resource constraints. This much money allotted to health, this much to education, this much to road, this much to electricity, and we kept building roads, building schools, building hospitals, generating electricity, and the problems kept multiplying. Now that model of development and growth was not suited for India. Such a large country, the countries those who were way behind us, or some of them who were at par with us when the British left, they overtook us and overtook us with a big margin. Countries, those who used to be envious of us. I remember when I used to visit China, up to 2007-8, they used to be envious of our Silicon Valley. They used to call, you are leader in information communication technology. And today, we know where we are, where they are. This mindset has to change. And it changed at the top level, topmost level, that this country has to meet its destiny. This country has to lead the world. And this cannot be achieved. This responsibility that this country has, not only to itself, but to the entire humanity. It cannot discharge its responsibility meaningfully if it does not go to the position of leadership. And so, the fundamental changes began. Instead of government being the promoter or the guardian of development and growth, let the growth and development be given by the people. Let our young minds, young men and women, experiment with their ideas. Let them dream big. Let them experiment with their dream. Let them fail and let them rise again and experiment. Create that confidence. Friends, it is the national confidence that brings the change. One is witness. History is a witness to the fact that we have a huge, large army. If it doesn't have the confidence, it doesn't win. That confidence has to be inculcated in our people. And that is something by making them believe that yes, every citizen of India believes I can do it. And look at the change. About 10 years back, we didn't have even 500 startups. Today we have over 100,000 startups. Over 100 unicorn. Who is doing it? Yesterday I met girl children of a school, high school girl children. Those who had designed and built Ajadi satellite, Ajadi Sat. School children coming from rural areas, humble background, from all over the country, 750 of them. Yesterday I met those from Tamil Nadu. I felicitated them. In the interaction with them, I got the energy that these young people have. The dream. The space was a dream beyond. And today, our kids, our children are building satellites. This is the confidence of New India. And today, we are moving forward with a sense of destiny and sense of triumph. We are not thinking in terms of 5 years, 10 years. Incremental thinking. No. We have set a target for our country, time and the destiny. Destiny to be the leader of the world, and time is by the time we complete the centenary of our independence. The next, now 24 years, 1 year is almost getting over. By the time this country celebrates the centenary of independence, the country has to be the leader of the world. And this is for the benefit of the world. And this transformation which is happening is being welcomed by the world. When India rises, the world welcomes it. History tells us that whenever a country has risen, it has created concern in some or other parts of the world. after the Second World War. When United States of America and Soviet Russia, they started rising, the world was put into conflict. One was promoting democracy and capitalism, other was terrorism. Millions and millions of people suffered in the process. When China began rising, the world has seen the result. The global economies are being captured as if it is their Chinese territory. South China Sea is an example. Their rise creates concern in some or other parts of the world. Whereas when India rises, the world welcomes it. Because the world is fed up with the world order, which is replete with existential threats, which were not there before, which were not there 50, 60 years ago. Climate crisis, nobody knew about climate crisis. And today we are very, very, with deep concern, looking at a doomsday scenario at the horizon, that unless something radical is done, the many island countries will be wiped off the map of the world, and the world as such will suffer. Perpetual war, perpetual conflict, visible, invisible. Poverty. There is a huge imbalance. You have countries with huge surplus at the same time we have large number of people who are living in hunger. Even the global pandemic demonstrated that the pandemic which didn't spare anyone. And at the time, there was a sense, there was a latent belief among us that now is the time that there will be rise of compassion. The countries which are developed and the countries which would be developing the vaccine and the medicines they have, they will be sharing with those who are less fortunate. It didn't happen. Countries who developed the vaccines, they started raising the price, the versus vaccine nationalism began, and they looked at it as an opportunity. It was this country that shared the vaccine with, thanks to our scientists, with over 150 countries in the world. It was this country which shared the life-saving medicines with the people across the world. Not that we were fully covered. While we were meeting our own needs, we were also meeting the needs of others because we believed that the world is a failure. We believe that we are all part of one large family. What is? Here it is called in Tamil, Yadu More, Yavaram Kele. Here it is called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is ingrained in our DNA. So when India rises, the world looks up with expectation, with hope. And look at this. When the climate crisis, the vast existential crisis, which country is showing the leadership? It is India and India alone. Others are doing the lip service. Carbon trading, okay. I will carbon as much as I need. You can trade, I will get the credit. No, this lifestyle is not sustainable. Today, we have taken the lead, and over 40% of our energy needs are green energy. Such a large country. We have a target by 2030, our 50% energy needs will be green energy, non-carbon energy. We are meeting the targets before the time. This is New India. This New India, to which the world looks at with expectation and hope to find the solutions to the global problem, has a great responsibility. And this responsibility is something which has been realized by our people in the past, our leaders in the past. When India became independent At the time, the great Rishi Aurobindo, he wrote dreams. 5 dreams he wrote on that very day, 15th of August 1947. And by writing the 5 dreams, he wrote the preface. He said, because imagine the world at the time. The world, in just about a quarter century before 1947, they had witnessed only that. For the first time, humanity saw the destructive power of atom, the nuclear. Such enormous, unimaginable destructive power in the hand of humans who were in conflict with each other. What was going to be the fate of destiny? What was the destiny of the humanity? Was it self-destruction? Rishi Aurobindo said, no, it is not self-destruction. And why? He said, in the entire universe, Earth is the only planet, evolutionary planet, where the life is in the process of evolution. It is evolving to the higher stage of consciousness. And eventually, when this consciousness evolves to the stage which was known to our people several thousand years ago when they said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Yavam Ure, Yavam Tele, that thought which came several thousand years ago, this consciousness has to be a mass consciousness. And it happened only in India. In the whole evolutionary planet, in whole universe, Earth is the only evolutionary planet. On this evolutionary planet, India is the only country where this consciousness came several thousand years ago. We are all members of the faith. Be it plant, be it animals, be it humans, we are all children of Mother Earth. We have all come from this. And so in one way or another, we are all related. This consciousness has to spread. It was this consciousness which is there in our DNA, which led our country share the vaccines while we were ourselves were grappling with problems. It was this consciousness that made our people share the medicines, life-saving drugs, though we had our own problems. We share. So, his dream, prefacing the dream, he says, now India has a responsibility. India has a responsibility to rise and lead the world with this consciousness. We are all members of it. Only then the world will be saved. And world has to be saved. It is an obligation cast on India. And when we say that India has to be the leader by 2047, it is to fulfill our obligation to the world. It's not only just for ourselves. And with this, massive transformations are happening. Look at the digitalization. Today we are the most digitalized country in the world. We are the one who are consuming the maximum data. In the remotest corner, you go to any remote village, you will find a digital device in the house. This is a revolution. This revolution is empowering the citizens, everyone. It is empowering the system of governance, system of delivery, also stimulating the thought process, the minds of our people, young people. Now in this backdrop, when we are transforming the industry, manufacturing industry, the tool manufacturing industry also has to be conscious of it. The growth in technology, machines are changing, tools are changing. You have to be futuristic. There was a time when in the time of industrial revolution, largely steam or coal-driven machines. Electricity, it changed the nature of tools. Information communication technology changed the nature of tools. Today we are in age of artificial intelligence. It is changing the nature of tools. Because the nature of machines are changed. Automobiles are changing in a very fundamental way. And what is going to be the future like? So our people, those who are in the business of making tools, manufacturing tools, they have to be futuristic, and I'm sure you are. You have to think forward, and you have to develop your tools, your techniques with that sense of obligation that in the next nearly 2.5 decades, we have to be a self-reliant country. A developed country, a country leader of the world cannot be if it is not developed, so we have to be fully developed. And what does it mean? What all it means for us in the business of manufacturing? We have to be conscious of that. And I'm sure you are all conscious of it. Our state, Tamil Nadu, it has been the pioneer for last several decades in industrialization. We have the best of infrastructure, be it electricity, be it road, be it port. We have a very good ICT infrastructure. And we have a fairly good human resource. Of course, they need to be skilled, they need to be trained. And that is where we need to take greater emphasis. Because when you are expanding, when you are innovating, you need to have that appropriately skilled human resource. When the government will do what it must, I think you too have an important responsibility in guiding the government or even taking your own initiative. I know there are industries which are now going to these ITIs and they're setting up camps there to be skilling the manpower. I know you are a small industry conclave. You can do that in your own area, wherever you are, collectively or individually. We have to produce that skilled human resource. A skill in the latest technology. Gone are the days when we used to take a lot of satisfaction with growth in literacy. Just our growth in gross enrollment ratio. No, there has to be, this is the knowledge age. We have to maintain knowledge superiority. And the knowledge superiority is usable knowledge, not merely theoretical knowledge. We need to pay greater attention on that. How do we do that? We have to think about it. And this coming 5 days, with all the changes that will take place, I'm sure something good will come out. Something good for the future of industry, for the future of our country, for the benefit of all. I wish once again all of you and all those who will be participating in various capacities in this great event of 5 days, all the very best. Thank you very much. Jai.